Hello and Joe Resinello, and once more, let us go into the breach. Joe, the Satanists are descending on Boston. I mean, here, and again, we got. I want to play a clip to show exactly what's going on. I have a little bit of experience with this, which I'll talk about when we come back. But let's play the clip, and we'll talk about how we're really supposed to confront this, because I don't know if it's such a cut and dried solution. But let's listen to the clip, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's going to be a busy weekend. Hundreds of members of the Satanic Temple will be in Boston this weekend for a convention. And as WBZ's Anna Myler tells us, some are not thrilled by that.
The sold-out event is starting today, and it's happening all weekend here at the Marriott in Boston, and a counter event is planned in response. People are arriving in Boston from all over to attend what's expected to be the largest satanic gathering in history.
It's about supporting human rights. It's about supporting women's bodily autonomy. It's about freedom of religion, freedom from religion.
The event marks the 10-year anniversary for the Satanic Temple and will include satanic rituals, entertainment, and discussion panels.
I understand the confusion, the fear. I really do. But at the same time, we're a very misunderstood group.
Organizers are dedicating SatanCon to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu because the group was not allowed to deliver a satanic invocation at City Hall last year. The mayor's office says neither Mayor Wu nor the city of Boston are sponsoring or affiliated with SatanCon 2023. Mayor Wu will be out of town this weekend. A truck with a Christian Action Network billboard is parked outside the Marriott, and a Christian event called Revive Boston is happening this weekend in response.
Satan's a deceiver, so anything other than Jesus is not the truth. So I feel bad for these people.
Organizers with the Satanic Temple say they do not believe in Satan, but rather push for the separation of church and state, and that their mission is to encourage empathy among all.
Joe, let's leave it there because it's quite nauseating, okay? There's a lot there. I mean, we could go on. Let's talk about this, first of all, let's talk about, they say that they don't really believe in Satan. Like the woman said there, they're misunderstood. No, we understand exactly what you are. Now, do I believe some of these people believe in Satan? Yes, I do. I do believe that there are people who worship Satan because they hate God. And I do think that they go there because this is SatanCon. So why wouldn't you go there if you actually believe in Satan and you actually support his rebellion against God? So don't say that you really don't believe in Satan. No, there's plenty of them that do. Those who don't believe in Satan, there's plenty of, I know a lot of atheists who don't agree with us on a lot of things. They agree with us on some things and most things, especially on the abortion and gay marriage things. They don't agree with us on that. Why don't you just protest or make your voice known as an atheist if you don't believe in Satan? Because then you certainly don't believe in God. So why the need to support the SatanCon conference? Because you're all provocateurs. That's what's going on. That's one of the things that's going on here. You want the kind of reaction or you love the kind of reaction that the media can seize on to make us, as let's just say Christians, or let's just say believers, okay, to make us out to be the bad guys. You'd love for us to storm in there, a couple hundred Catholic men, and to start throwing beatings to all the Satanists. You'd love that. It ain't going to happen. And I want to leave you with this, because I want your comments. I think the appropriate way is, when I first got here to Arizona about a year and a half ago, the SatanCon conference was here in Scottsdale. They wanted to consecrate Scottsdale to Satan. Okay, Jesse Romero.
This is nuts.
It's nuts. But again, it's on one hand it's evil, on the other hand it's nuts. But again, what is our response? So Jesse Romero, he organized a prayer rally, a 3-day prayer rally, by the way. Okay, out in the heat in Scottsdale, in front of the Saguaro Hotel. Okay, Michael Hitchborn flew in. He's not from around here. Father David Nix flew in. He ain't from around here. There were Protestants there that were joining us that actually were a bit impressed with the way we were disciplined and everything else, and in our prayers and everything else. And guess what? All you could say is you pray to God and you trust in God that something good came out of that. If nothing else, it was public witness about how you're supposed to fight against these people, I think. Because I don't really think you could do anything about this legislatively. Like they mentioned the mayor of Boston. Who cares? What could she do about it? It's a private group. They go to a private business. They say hey, we want to rent the place. Yeah, we're having a conference called the SatanCon conference. Okay, here's one thing. Well, no, let me leave it there for your comments.
Well, here's the thing. You're free to do it. Let me first say that. You're free to do it. I don't recommend it. There is good and there is evil. I think we all could kind of, there's good things and there are bad things. Satan is affiliated with bad things. Sorry. How you could support that, I don't know, but you are free to do it. That's point number one. Point number two, it says something about our society that such a group in a big city like Boston, getting the crowd that it's getting, is basically gathering. This isn't even fringe. Like it is, but at the same time, you're talking about a massive convention.
Right.
Says something about our society. Nothing good could come of it. And the last point I want to make is this. And you could look at their platforms. I just want to draw a parallel. The Satanists at this conference talk about the police. They're against the police, which means they're against authority. Remember, Satan fell from heaven. I'm going to get a little biblical. His statement to God was, I will not serve. And he took a third of the angels with him. That's a little biblical context. So they have a thing about authority. They're not for the police. Point number one. This guy mentioned it in the clip. They're for abortion. They fund it. And they also talk about like the ritualistic aspects of abortion. They're also for transgenderism. What party is for those three things?
We know the answer to that.
How could you be proud that you are on the same platform? Not everything. Let me qualify that. Those are three pillars of their platform. Satanists. That says something. Now, are the Republicans perfect? Absolutely not. I'm not even a Republican. But what I am saying is the Democratic Party, those three things, they have embraced wholeheartedly.
Right.
So does the Satanists.
Well, remember one thing, too, about the Democrat Party. They say they're freeing everybody and they're rebelling against authority. Well, like Satan, okay, he rebels against authority, but then he makes himself an authority. You see, Satan wants slaves. So he's not against authority. He's just against God's authority. Same thing with the Democrats. The Democrats, they rail about authority. Authority, you're authoritarian. No, they just want to be the authority. They want to be the authority. That's the thing. So let's clear that up. The other thing is this. Marriott better see, this is where Christian groups maybe need to start taking off the gloves, so to speak. We should have a conference. Okay. I don't care if it's Protestant and Catholic. I don't care if it's Protestant or Catholic or just Catholic. We should go to the Marriott, a couple hundred people of, let's say, we should have a convention against gay marriage and transgenderism. And we state clearly to the Marriott, these are the positions we take. We're a Christian organization that is holding this conference to arouse awareness about the evils of gay marriage and transgenderism, and you will not refuse us service. That would be an interesting development, because what's Marriott going to do then if they say, okay, we had the conference for the Satanists, so now we'll have the conference for the Christians. Okay, what are they going to say when 500 people that look like this guy on the screen show up in front of the Marriott and start demanding that they not provide those services for the Christian group? I'd love your comments on that, Joe.
Well, it's funny you draw that parallel. That goes against, while there's a law that would probably prevent them from keeping you from having that conference, it goes against the ESG policies that all corporations basically have embraced, Marriott being one of them. It would be an interesting
So
dilemma.
you could be pro-Satan, but you can't be pro-Christian.
Another thing I want to draw a parallel to is Joe Biden's administration. I forget the gentleman what he was in charge of, but he basically had he was a gay man who was basically like a leather-clad gay guy who was in his administration. I forget specifically what he was in charge of, but there were pictures of him with like leather. Do you remember that came out?
Yes, I forgot. Again, I forgot.
Yeah, I think he has like a Greek name. I think I'm sorry. Please don't call me a racist. It's just his name was
His name was Greek.
There you go. He has a tattoo because in the pictures of him posted when Biden put him out there of a pentagram on his chest.
Yeah.
Again, are these the people you want to be affiliated with? Are these like just on the very platforms? I don't want to be affiliated with Satan in any way, shape, or form. First of all, because I believe him to be real, just as I believe God to be real. And if you find that your positions, there are positions that you hold true to be on the same page with the Satanists, that should make you stop and think for a minute. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be Christian.
Just got to be sane.
Yes. Yes. And that's the missing piece here. I think this event says so much about our society presently. It says so much about the powers that be that embrace some of the very ideas, not just the political powers, the corporate structure, Hollywood, big professional sports, all for transgenderism, all for radical abortion, many of them for defunding the police. Don't
Yeah.
listen to the rhetoric. Look at the outcomes in your big cities that have fallen apart. I go into one twice a week. New York, they destroyed it. You're sharing the same ideals as the Satanists. Should make you pause, people.
It should.
Not conspiracy. I'm just pointing it out.
No, point out the guy on the left-hand side of the screen. And I bet you everything, and I don't have anything, but anything I can, I bet you anything I can, and I'll lay you 10-1 that the vast majority of the people at the SatanCon conference are going to go and vote for whoever the Democrat nominee is. One thing I would tell you is this, Joe. You know what I would do if I had George Soros money? See, George Soros spends money on political campaigns, this and that. You know what I would do? I would have an organization with 500 Catholic men on my payroll. 500 Catholic men. They don't even have to work every day. But when I say jump, you jump. When I say the Satanists are in Boston, we're booking your tickets. You guys get on a plane. We'll get the permits from the city. You're going to go right there, right on the sidewalk, and you're going to go protest them loudly. You're going to protest them. You're going to bust out your rosary. You're going to start invoking the intercession of Our Lady. You're going to pray to Jesus Christ. You want to know why, Joe? Because all the political solutions that George Soros looks for, at the end of the day, they're going to crumble. Okay? Political tides, they change all the time. The truth does not. You get 500 or 1,000 Catholic men out there, in other words, praying, just like I said, at the Saguaro Hotel down here, that is powerful witness. That shows a lot of people, if the media would ever cover it, that shows a lot of people that, no, we're not, I'm not tolerant of Satanists. I'm intolerant of Satanists. I'm intolerant of Marriott. See, we can make a private business decision, can't we, Joe? Can't we boycott Marriott? To say, if you hold that conference, we're going to boycott you nationwide.
See, that's what people have to do, and that's what they don't do. We need to band together and financial boycotts. All the petitions, they're filed in the circular file. I'll tell you two things that work. You bombard people with emails. That's what the Catholic League does.
Yes.
When that took place in Scottsdale, I got an email with the Saguaro Hotel's private email. I sent an email. If you have an inbox and 100,000 people jam you up with just an email, I'm against this. Not cursing, not being threatening, nothing like that. That is something that grabs attention, and financial boycotts. And here's another thing. It's not for a little bit. I don't use your product anymore. Like, I'm not drinking Budweiser anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
Right.
Not for a week, not for a month, not for a year. I have other options. I'm done.
That's it.
And that's what people have to do. And if enough people, the problem is, Joe, they don't care. They don't. Because if you cared about fixing America, you would do. That's a small thing. These are small things that people of goodwill can do, but we don't.
Right.
You could shut them down in a heartbeat.
Joe, I want your final comment on something. And you tell me if you think I'm right, or you tell me if you think I'm wrong, or anywhere in between. I think if you took the average girl, Christian girl in America, and you had this guy here on the screen, tell that girl what they believe as far as sexual morality. And what I mean by that is sexual liberation, contraception, abortion, homosexuality, and transgenderism. Most Christian girls in America would agree with him.
100% agree. And that should make you pause. That should make you pause. Listen, there is good and there is evil. And you know them by the company they keep, just like you know a tree by the fruit it bears. If you're siding with the Satanists, if you start ticking your issues, and you're like, wow, I'm on point with a lot of these guys like platforms, I think you should stop and say, am I standing on the right place here? Is this the right thing to do? Because once again, there is such a thing as good and there is evil. And I don't want to be on the side of the Satanists. That's just me. I can't
Well,
speak for you.
you could speak for me, because
No,
I'm
I
with
know
you.
that. I know. I'm just
No,
throwing out the proverbial you to the people
yeah,
who are listening. I
yeah,
can't
you could,
speak for you,
yeah,
but I
no.
can speak for me. I don't want to be on their side.
And I
I'm
think
sorry.
it's high time that, especially again, one of the reasons why, the main reason why we decided to start this show back in 2018 is because we want to appeal to many people out there, but particularly to Catholic men. I think the greatest fear that all these people have, particularly guys like this on the screen, are when Catholic men, nothing against our Christian brothers. I'm not disparaging anybody, okay? But I think their biggest fear is Catholic men with a rosary in their hand, standing right in front of them, praying right in their face for them, by the way. That bothers them too, by the way. If you pray for them, that bothers them. Why are you praying for me? Why are you being so judgmental? I don't know, because you worship Satan. Maybe that's why I'm praying for you. Maybe I'm praying that you stop worshiping Satan and worship our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I think it's their biggest fear, me personally. I think one of the biggest things that could turn this culture around is for Catholic men to really step up in this culture war and make their voices heard. Joe, we got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us to the front line with Joe and Joe. Please, we don't ask you for money. What we do ask you to do is, wherever you see us on social media, help us out. Click a button, like, subscribe, share, follow, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And remember, till the next time, our conversation is your conversation, and that conversation is going on everywhere.